Hi there. Today is Sunday, the 8th of September 2024. My starting date was Wednesday, 8th of February 2023, which makes this exactly 1 year and 7 months on HRT. Fucking wild, isn't it? 578 days. And this is kind of a special occasion. There's a reason I came back to do a diary recording. And the reason is because this is the first time I will ever be on the internet on a video as Robin. And this is kind of a decision that I've been messing around with for quite some time. And I guess it kind of begs some explanation of what the difference is between Jade and Robin and why I decided to change my name. I guess I could talk about, how physically stuff has been going as well. I recently switched from injections back to spironolactone and gel. I'm finding that spironolactone makes me fucking sleepy as fuck. I feel pretty exhausted today, and maybe it's because it's making me dehydrated. I'm just not drinking enough water, which is entirely possible. But I do feel kind of drowsy, and I'm looking forward to getting on with Gender Plus in November. Oh, there's a bee on the windowsill. That's nice. Sorry. I'm looking forward to getting onto Gender Plus in November and switching to a different type of thing. The state of that, I mean, in this light, with this camera, at this angle, I look pretty femme. But there's still stuff about me that's kind of driving me mad. You don't really see it in the camera, but, do you see how far the distance is between my brow bone and the base of my nose? That's pretty significant. Do you see, the cleft in my chin and how far it comes forward? Eventually, I'm going to have to get FFS. I've already started spamming out, requests for consultations and stuff like that. It's going to be very expensive. But that's a decision I'm happy to live with because I just don't think I'm chill with having such a mask face or having mask features on my face. To that end, why Robin? I had about 30 days between realizing that I'm trans and then starting a job. And the way the law works here in Ireland is that you can self-identify, you can change your birth certificate not your birth certificate, you can change your name on your passport and your PPS number, etc. But you have to pick a name as soon as you pick a gender, and I knew my gender was going to be female, or at least something close to it, but it didn't have a name. But I had to pick a name because I didn't want my new job and all the new people I'm going to meet to know my dead name, to know who I was. That sounds like a fucking nightmare to me. So I just picked a name that I thought was pretty good. I asked my family for suggestions. I believe my older sister came up with Kristen came up with Jade, and I rolled with it because Jade was all right. And being Jade has gotten me through a heck of a lot of times. So many such a fucking wild time this entire transition process has been so far. You can probably see by my face, I'm very tired. I'm very tired of, all of this, and I'm still not even close to done. It'll be worth it in the end, but, the name Jade has been kind of like a security blanket for me. But ultimately, Jade was the name I picked because I wanted not to be known by my dead name. It was the name that went over that as an alternative. It was me transitioning away from something. And it kind of got me thinking that, I've really only framed my transition in terms of what I don't want to be, Of what I wanted to change about myself, what I want to get rid of. And is that how it's going to be forever? Or do I want to build towards something eventually? And I decided, no, I want to build towards something eventually as well. I want to, take all the weird fucking pieces of me that were broken down and then put them back together into something. Into, someone. I want to have this model of myself that I can see in the future and work towards that. And I can't just do that just by being not dead name. I have to be someone. And that's why the name Jade always, felt kind of fucking hollow to me. Which is not really ideal. And So I went to picking a couple of names. I tried Valerie for a bit, named after my grandmother. I love all these trans girls bringing the old woman names back into circulation. Tried various different ones, but like Robin is the one that kind of stuck to me the most. And part of the reason for that is that I don't want to have to police myself to be feminine all of the time. You know? I don't want... Because when I first came out, I was like, I'm going to wear a fucking dress every day. I'm going to wear makeup every day. And then I realized that most women do not do that. How many cis women do you see walking around these days wearing a dress every day? Not many? Probably not many. It's something that I picked up because it's so taboo for a man to wear a dress. It's transgressive, literally. And it was kind of like this ultimate thing that I felt that I couldn't touch that I wanted. And then I got some dresses and I'm just like, I actually don't want this anymore. I just dress like kind of a tomboy type of lesbian thing going on. And frankly, the more I look like a lesbian, the more I vibe with myself, the happier I feel. So yeah, I dress like this now. I just have my tattoos. I have this nice plaid jacket that my girlfriend gave me. There is nothing more lesbian than wearing clothes that belong to your girlfriend. Then I have like my low cut top still. I have boobs. Jesus Christ, do I have boobs? They just look much bigger on camera. I'm not wearing a bra today, so that might actually play into that as well. Sorry, I got way off track. Robin. Yeah. So the point is I don't want to police myself so much to be female. I want to be somewhere on the feminine spectrum, but I don't have to be the perfect girl. And Robin is something that's not trying so hard to be feminine. That's one aspect. But secondly, and the much more important aspect, is that in Irish culture, there's like this belief, and this is something in a couple Scandinavian cultures as well, there's this belief that a Robin, if you see one, is a loved one coming back to visit you. And I know I lost someone not too long ago who very, very much loved robins. And, like, she would watch the window and, like, look out the window for ages and watch the robins come and go. Like, talk about all these stories about, like, oh, here's what the robins are up to now today. And that stuck with me. It stuck with me because, like, sometimes I just see a robin out in the street now and just think it's like, oh, that's her, you know? I'll see, I literally was walking to work one day and I saw somebody had a little plastic robin sitting in the back of their car and just like, that's her, you know? I never feel like I'm alone when I think about robins, whenever I see one. And hey, now I'm gonna fucking be one. And that's great. That makes me so happy. Yeah, so that's why Robin. It's a mix of a way to process my grief and also a little reminder that, like, someone you think is gone maybe isn't gone, you know? And that's a little bit of hope in that sense. So yeah, my big life goals, surgery, stuff like that, a more stable end to my, a more stable supply of medication. I'm still working on it. And it's probably going to be like November before I find anything out like that. But there is something in my life that's stable, and it's my relationship. I'm still with Kay. We are fucking engaged. Look at that. I even went so far as to carve the day we agreed to be girlfriends on the inside. 24/2/23. And I'm really fucking happy about that. And honestly, like, our relationship just keeps on getting better every day. It's like a relationship. We still have to deal with all the regular relationship problems, communication, the growing sense that I feel like I'm quite dependent on her, which is like kind of a scary thought for someone that's like had maybe depended on people who ultimately took advantage of that. Like, that's kind of been my life at certain points, and there's times where I felt like I've taken advantage of other people. I guess I'm kind of afraid of being dependent on someone, really, or them being dependent on me, because, like, what if I let them down? But that's, you know, that's the challenge that I was going to have to face in any relationship. And it's something that I have to face now. And it's something I'm going to. Something that I've been in the process of. Quite a lot of my progress over the last couple of months has been, like, more psychological. I came from a very, very low place back in April, like dangerously low mentally. I took sick leave for that, and I was just shattered. I was a threat to myself, basically. I went through this ordeal where I decided I was going to be a threat to myself because I had had enough. Many, many reasons. But, like, I'd had enough of waiting. I'd had enough of, like, hitting my face into the wall of healthcare over and over again. I'd had enough of my face, and the future in which I could change any of that just seemed to stretch out longer and longer and longer ahead of me. I was already an entire year on HRT by then, and I felt like the changes weren't happening. Which seems kind of wild, because you've seen these videos. Like, you've seen how much I have changed. You've heard my voice, how that changed. Change has happened all the fucking time, but in that spot I couldn't see it. And I definitely still have to deal with that type of pressure mentally. I still have to deal with the fact that, like, change is very, very slow. That I'm not going to get the stuff I need as fast as I should. And if I do get it, I'm going to have to pay more than I should. It sucks. It genuinely sucks. And I frankly don't think I should feel guilty for saying that it sucks. But that is what I have. And I don't want to risk hurting myself again. So, yeah. That's been, I guess, why I haven't been updating. That's pretty fucking heavy to drop on you, isn't it? Maybe I'll maybe do a video where I go into that with a bit more detail, but honestly, I don't want all of my family to see that detail. I don't want all my friends to see that detail because it's too intimate. Not to mention that, like, Kay was with me the entire time, and I freaked her the fuck out. I freaked her out so badly, and it's something I feel really guilty about still, even though in a lot of ways my mental health episode was not entirely my fault. I still have to try and frame it as a thing that happened to me rather than a thing that I did, because if I didn't frame it that way, I would feel like shit. And also, like, all of my family and Kay and everyone's insisting that it wasn't my fault. It was me responding to a situation that I was put in that is unfair. Having said that, I still did a lot of damage, and I'm not ready to possibly re-inflict that damage on a whole bunch of people. So that story's gonna have to stay to myself. Just know that in April, I was in a shitty place, and now I'm out. Yeah, so since then, I've just been getting back into work, trying to keep my life stable, and there's really not that much left on the horizon for me in terms of life goals-wise until March, when I get my full contract at work and I get to stay in work, basically, permanently, which is great. That'll give me a very stable sort of job, and my job is not terrible. It's like, it's sometimes boring, totally, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's boring until it's not, you know? It's routine until something that's off the routine happens, and then you have to get smart and you have to fight fires. And I kind of like that about it. I feel like it both gives me space to work on stuff that's like a little bit outside my job description, but at the same time, I'm not so bored that I'm like here chewing my skin off, which I think I would have been in different types of roles. I'm kind of looking forward to growing more in that job. I've been there for nearly 2 years now. The job came like almost instantly as I fucking started transitioning. Professionally, I feel like I'm doing well in the stuff I'm doing, but I could be expanding. I could be able to do more stuff. And 2 years in this role is the type of thing where you are basically competent, but you could do more, you know? Because there is really no end to what you could learn in this job. It's so fucking complicated. And it's okay to like come to the end of 2 years and still realize there's a lot of things you don't know. And now there's people coming and asking me for like, how do I fix this thing? Or like, what does this mean in a log? And I'm just like, people are asking me for stuff now. Do you know that has never fucking happened to me in my life? Like, nobody has been like, on a professional level, Robin, we need you to help me with my job. Do you know how proud that makes me feel? Like, it's It sounds kind of pathetic, doesn't it? To feel like I'm finally the expert in something. Even if this little niche within a niche of my job. It feels like I'm finally the expert in something. I'm finally fucking good at something. Christ, this is what I needed. I needed to fucking make this diary just so I can lay out the good stuff in my life and have it there. And frankly, from this angle, I do look fucking hot, don't I? I feel... Yeah. So like I said, stuff has been complicated. There have been some lows over this year, but also some really nice highs. I love being engaged. I love my partner. There's I kind of feel like I have a future. I feel like all the stuff I really need, like facial feminization, like other surgeries, that's so far into the future, but I feel like the future is fucking... I feel like the future is within reach. I feel like it's not just this endlessly distant rolling the boulder up the hill anymore. And I'm looking forward to that.